Okay, so I'm sat here with Ozzy Rogers, the Manic Shine.
How you doing?
Sitting having a coffee. It's a beautiful day. Sitting outside the Underbelly in Hoxton Square. Couldn't be a more delightful place to conduct an interview, really.
Definitely.
How are you feeling?
Absolutely ecstatic. We're a band that's born to play live, so for us, live shows are.
Let's start there then. Like, you've got this gig tonight. You've been building up for quite a while towards this.
Yeah.
Why is this such an important gig?
Well, for us, it's a really important show because it will be the first show we've ever done where we've completely been in charge of its production. In other words, we've been in charge of the booking of the venue, the booking of the bands, the promotion of the actual night itself. Everything about it has been organized by us. And actually, it has been a total relief to work in this way because by and large, things tend to get a little bit hectic when you are having your night changed around and dates moved and all these sort of things. So it was very good for us to just see if we could try and make it on our own with one of these shows. And we're really excited to see how it's going to turn out. I mean, we've had a great response. The number of people that want to show up and see us play. So.
What's the capacity of the venue?
Capacity should be around 250, 300.
Brilliant. And you expect to fill it?
Well, as far as I can tell, I mean, the deal is that we work with bands. In this particular instance, we put on some bands that we like, and we said to them, "Look, dudes, we'd like to break even on this one."
Yeah.
And they said, "Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We'll see if we can pack them in." This was 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I'm hoping for full house. Definitely, yeah.
And is this sort of like the release of the new album in a sense?
No, well, it's more like the promotion, the final send off before we go into the studio to really complete the album. I mean, we'll be going in as of next Monday into Practice Pad Studios in Essex to actually start work on rehearsing the album. We'll be in there for 2 weeks. And then come the 18th of April, we will be in the Animal Farm recording 9 tracks.
Okay, and the Animal Farm is a sort of record label that you've been working with, that aren't signed by, but are working with.
Absolutely, yeah. There are a couple of guys that have a lot of recording, production experience. They've got some great alumni from that studio. A lot of really good names that come out of there. That are sort of breaking the scene at the moment. And it was a pleasure to work with them last time. They produced our last EP, and we thought, we dug the sound that they got out. I mean, there's been a monumental response from people saying how well the band is recorded and how well it's produced. And we thought, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay, great. And you also, I know it's got a video out as well.
We do indeed, yeah. We've recently completed our debut music video, directed by a BAFTA-nominated director, Luke Snellen, which was fantastic. He actually won the Virgin Media Shorts Award 2009, judged by Kevin Spacey and a couple of other people. Yeah,
brilliant.
Nice. So it was an absolute pleasure to work with him. He was raving about the tune and wanted to do a video for it, so we said, by all means, yeah, let's see what we can come up with. And I think he did a great job.
Yeah, no, it's beautifully produced.
Definitely,
it looks really great. So
we were really pleased with it, I think, and especially considering a lot of unsigned bands have music videos that you could argue were maybe a bit stock type, stereotypical sort of thing. It was really interesting to have his take, an entirely different perspective on the song, what it's about, and how he saw it visually being enacted.
Yeah, okay, great. Good. Let's talk a little bit about the band itself. A lot of exciting things coming up for the band. But, for those that don't know the name of the Manic Shine, for those that don't know your music,
soon.
They're few and far between, I'm sure. But for that minority, what sort of music would you describe yourself as playing?
I would say that question gets asked the band so many times over, and I think bands spend a really long time trying to make sure they couldn't answer that question.
Yeah.
I think I would have to say, if I was to put it squarely, that it's a sort of a fusion of classic and modern rock.
Okay.
So you take the greats, you take the bluesy greats like Hendrix and Cream and Free and all that sort of that really great late 70s classic rock, and you mix it together with modern rock of the last 10 years. So Rage Against the Machine, Tool, all kinds of guys that have come out. John Mayer as well, Counting Crows, all these guys. I would say it was a mixture of those two genres.
I was going to say, because I mean, Counting Crows was certainly a name that sprung to mind when I was listening to some of the tracks. And
we're huge fans.
Yeah,
we've seen them live. We saw the the whole band went to see them live at Wembley Arena, and they were, I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Those guys are real pros, you know. And we also, you know, you've got to think about how many people there are on that band.
Yeah, yeah.
There are like 12 people,
yeah,
and they're all amazing.
Yeah.
You know, they're all singing, dancing, all enacting kind of amazing guys. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
And we were really impressed. I actually, the interesting thing is that I actually, at first, totally hated the Counting Crows. And then the bassist played it non-stop for 6 months. I believe the album was Hard Candy.
Yeah.
Played that album every day for 6 months, and at the end I was sold. I was like, yeah, okay, I can dig that. It's really good.
Because obviously, I mean, you sort of mentioned Counting Crows is a very large band. You're not a particularly large band. It's 4 of you, I believe?
There are 4 of us, yeah.
You on lead guitar and vocals?
Oren Karp on lead guitar and vocals as well. And then Tamir Karp, his brother, on drums, and James Hutchison on bass.
Brilliant.
The interesting thing, for us, it's really interesting being a quartet because we like so many bands that have so many more members in them. But having said that, it's still a very intriguing concept to try and create a massive sound, a really full, rich sound with 4 people. Or 3 people, as you know, we love Muse as well. We love 4 people, Tool, Led Zeppelin. You know, these guys, they created a huge sound.
Yeah.
And it was just the 4 of them. And for that's a really interesting concept for us. Like working with as few materials as possible to create something that is sonically rich.
Okay, excellent. And how did you all meet? How did you all come together?
I would say it was mainly when we all lived together to go to music college. Basically, I needed some housemates. I'd met Aaron on a music summer school the year before. He said he was going to the same college, so we hooked up and said, okay, let's live together. You know, we need to find some more people as well. James Hutchison was a friend of a friend, mutual friend. So he had let us know that he was also going to this college, and we just moved in together. Ended up jamming and rehearsing and just sort of making a lot of music together in that year. Then shortly afterwards, I met Tamir, Oren's brother, on drums. We've been jamming ever since. But the band, as its current lineup, has actually been together for only a year.
Okay, because the Manic Shine is a lot older than that.
Yes, it is, yeah.
So do you want to say a bit about the history of...
Yeah,
it's always been... I mean, I don't want to detract from the other members of the band, but it has always been, perhaps, is it fair to say your band, in a sense?
In a sense, it was my baby, yeah. And I say was because now it's very wholeheartedly been embraced by the rest of the band. Before, it sometimes felt like it was me hiring a bunch of guys to come and play the music that I've written. Now it's very much, the dynamic has changed hugely. Everyone is invested emotionally quite heavily in the band itself. And as a result, the music has just gotten better. We gel more. The actual ideas, the concepts we come up with as a band are so much more unified. They're on the same page. Because we are now all on the same page, you know, both in musical taste and also in aim of the band.
So it's much more of a collaboration now than
very much so.
It was before.
Very much so, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you a little bit about how we write a tune. I mean, what'll happen is I'll come up with a stimulus on GarageBand, my favorite writing tool of all. Anyone that thinks GarageBand is the useless program on the Mac that you just bought, you'd be very wrong. But it is absolutely incredible piece of kit, and I love using it. But I would come up with a stimulus. What I do is, the way I write is I tend to write all the parts at once, and then I send all of that stuff to everyone else, and they say, we like this, we don't like this, we like this, we don't like this, and then we just go from there.
Yeah. true rock star fashion, Ozzy has taken a brief intermission to
No, I
answer his
don't.
Black
You're gonna have to look it up, dude. I've got to go. I'm in the
Reminiscent of when probably Zeppelin or Hendrix would have
I'm in the interview.
had to similarly take a call on their mobile phones mid-interview as well. I didn't hear the ringtone. It was probably an old Cream classic.
Oh God, absolutely useless. You can't. I tell you what, buying a BlackBerry is one of the worst idea anyone's ever had. Because it doesn't let you go.
Yeah.
It grabs you by the metaphorical balls and then won't let you go away.
Just for anyone else listening to this whole interview is even being recorded.
All in a BlackBerry, yeah.
So, you know, the cycle is complete.
Anyway, so back to the songwriting.
Yeah.
So after I come up with a stimulus, what I tend to do is send everything to the band, see what they think, and then the parts move forward from there. We go into the rehearsal space, we jam them out, we see what works, what doesn't work, and then we keep going. And this process will take months. Months.
Okay.
I recently, just to give you an idea, I just recently finished a tune that I've been working on for about 2 years. Also, I finished a tune that I've been working on for about 48 hours.
We've just been joined by on bass. Delightful. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm late.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, yeah, where have you been? Where have you come from?
I came from Richmond today. And
Okay.
before that, Leeds.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I drove down last night with my parents.
With all the gear we might add, including double bass,
bass,
amp,
suitcase, clothes for the next month.
month and a bit, yeah. Going into the studio with these ugly bastards is going to be an interesting one, definitely. Again, yeah.
2 weeks this time.
And how are you feeling about tonight?
Tonight, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Back to work.
Back to work. And what do you do? What do you do at the moment? You're at music college.
I'm a student. Yeah, I'm studying jazz. I'm doing a BA in jazz.
Oh, brilliant.
At Leeds College.
Oh, cracking.
Great.
Yeah. So I mean, how do you find that sort of being like in terms of geography? I mean, is it a lot of travelling down to London?
Traveling. Yeah, it's pretty much every weekend or every other weekend I'm getting the train down.
Okay.
Bass and an amp and a suitcase.
Yeah.
He's a real trooper. He's a real trooper.
Yeah, it's tough. But, yeah.
Not for long.
Yeah, not for long. And I wasn't going to let them replace me.
Irreplaceable, I would say, yeah.
Have you done any gigs up in Leeds as well?
Not yet. No.
Interesting you should say that, because I've been trying to get gigs up in that part of town. Interestingly, further north, seems to have no problem at all. Edinburgh, Glasgow, not a problem.
Yeah.
Leeds, suddenly there's a northern bias.
Right.
Because there's loads of bands in Leeds.
Leeds is another very happening music scene in and of itself.
Yeah,
Kind of self-contained in that sense.
They don't really pay people to travel up.
No, exactly.
Okay. So yeah. So I mean, the other members of the band, they all live in London, I'm assuming.
They do indeed, yeah.
That makes it a little bit easier.
Definitely. Well, I mean, as we were saying, Hutchie will be moving down probably within the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Anyway,
after I finish my final exams.
How's it going? Revision and that?
Good. Well, revision just involves playing.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's good. I'm quietly confident.
And it's jazz bass, so do you play an upright as well? Or?
Yeah, I'm doing my major on electric bass. I'm doing a minor on upright bass and a minor in composition.
it might be interesting to add at this point that your editor is a saxophonist.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Which means I think it'd be amazing to see sort of a rock band with an upright bass playing along.
Yeah, I'll be including that when I move down, when I can start. And hopefully, we get off the band and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll start taking it to gigs and using it because I want to use it. I've got some interesting ideas about using effects with it as well.
Oh, right.
Do things with octave generators and bowed upright bass and make it sound like a string section.
Yeah.
That does sound really cool.
That does sound good.
Nick the idea for Pat I've seen him doing it.
Brilliant. Have you ever written a string section before?
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah. It took me ages. Because they are hard, yeah. I mean, I'm not as well versed with musical theory as Hutch is. but I do work a lot by ear. So when I need to write a string section, I hear it in my head first, and then I have to put it down onto the GarageBand, basically. And what you do is you just kind of find a couple of lines that you want to include. So you take a motif, an idea, incorporate it into the section you want it in, and then you begin to either harmonize that, or you can, it's getting really geeky now, but you can go into the thing called counter melody or counterpoint, where you kind of go in opposite directions of what you're, and that makes the strings sound really interesting.
Okay, wicked.
It's weird, like blocking voicings and stuff for strings and horns, because you learn, well, at least my experience was with it, that you learn all these rules. And like, you can't have this, can't have the top two voices really close together. You got to have a gap between things. You can have crunches in the middle, and all these all these rules about it. And then later, people start breaking the rules, start bending the rules. And then eventually they go, all right,
now you can do what you want.
Really, we were just kidding.
Exactly.
I mean, it sounds to me like this seems like a very exciting time for the band generally, because I mean, especially with you all sort of either just coming out of music college or just sort of on the brink, if you like. There's a lot of ideas sort of floating around. So whilst the band is now at a position, I get the impression anyway, where it's a bit more established perhaps than it has been previously, that sort of progression or the future for the band is only going to become more and develop further.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, we've got this gig, we've got our album showcase at the Indigo 2 in July 16th.
Oh, brilliant.
And so we couldn't have asked for a better stage to actually, no pun intended, to actually release the album on. So we're really, really excited about it.
And is anyone promoting that, or?
Yeah, it's done through a company called Feed Me Music.
Okay.
Who are, I would say, definitely one of the nicer and kind of more sort of upstanding promoters that you can find in London.
Okay.
It really scrapes the barrel in this part of town, I think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
They're very good guys. Yeah. We enjoy working with them.
Brilliant. I mean, like the Indigo 2 is a big venue. That is a big venue.
Well, we're
the only band playing.
No, we're not. No, I don't think. Yeah. We're part of a showcase night.
Okay.
We're using it as our album launch.
Sure.
And basically, we won't be gigging in June either in London, so this will be like that opportunity within the last, because the last gig before that would be May the 7th at the Barfly. We're headlining the Barfly, and that will be just after our album is finished, and we wouldn't be able to release the album on that date because we won't have been able to have it mastered and produced.
Okay.
So June really is the best time to do it.
And it's great to have that gap as well between those two gigs, because it means we can really
nail it.
After getting all of, I mean, by the time we go to the studio, all of our songs, all the songs we've written so far, they'll all be together, like we'll have them down and ready to play live.
Absolutely.
And after that's done, we've got obviously just month of no gigs. We can get some covers together, which I think is something we've all been wanting to do for ages, but we've not really had the time.
Okay, what do you think of covering?
We got some ideas. I don't know.
I don't really want to give it away. There's a couple of ideas we've been throwing around. Maybe
if we say some now, we might end up not doing them.
It's all Britney Spears and that's top 7, isn't it?
God, all sorts of stuff. Stevie Wonder, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. God, I can't believe I'm saying this. Rihanna, possibly.
Brilliant.
Now,
I wasn't too far away.
No. Well, this is the interesting thing. I mean, I think it's a very interesting exercise in taking a modern tune, like a Rihanna tune that's come out recently, and seeing how far you can push it into the rock envelope.
Right. Okay.
Seeing how far it can transform in that way. Because I mean, a lot of these guys, a lot of these producers, make no mistake, they're smart people. They have come up with an incredibly effective winning formula for pop music. And Rihanna's reaping those rewards as we speak. I mean, I wouldn't even describe Rihanna as a single artist. I mean, she's a team. That woman is a group.
Yeah.
She's just the face.
Yeah.
The whole machine that creates these kind of pop tunes is fascinating to me because the precision at which they create incredibly catchy melodies is just absurd.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Are you? I mean, in terms of like modern music and the way modern music is produced, or especially kind of publicised, are you at all? You meet some artists that are quite opposed to it, or kind of we want to maintain our integrity, and that's seen as like the dark side, if you like, the commercial sellout side of things. Or you sound actually almost quite in praise of it in a sense.
What I'm in praise of is not the structure within which it operates within, but the fact that it's a product that makes people buy her music and see her live. But I would be in praise of any band that did that because it shows that you're doing your job right. If you're entertaining people, yeah, absolutely. I think I don't really have time to be a hater.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in just doing things right and doing things the way that I and the band want to do it. I don't think we're ever going to be in a situation necessarily where we would have to compromise what we like doing for financial gain, because I don't think that's why we have fans.
Yeah.
I think the reason we have fans is because necessarily we do what we do and stop the rest of it.
I mean, we kind of. I think the best way I can explain it, we want to be famous, we want to get rich, we want to sell loads of albums, we want to have loads of fans.
And play to lots of people.
But you don't have to compromise anything. We're never going to have to change the way we do things to get that, I think.
Okay.
And we wouldn't. If people come up, if we get signed and people come up to us saying, okay, we really like your stuff, we'll give you £10 million, but we want to change the way you dress, we want to change who you are. And, it's not, I don't care that much about it.
You've got to ask yourself, is it earned? Is it really earned then?
Is it your work?
Is it really your work? It's kind of like going up to a really great chef who's made some kind of name from making the best souffle ever, and then telling him he's got to flip burgers for the rest of his life. Now, I'm not saying that the pop world is all about flipping burgers, although I may know nothing. But I do say that there is an element of cheapening the product you have when you don't stick with it. Yeah. Because ultimately, the reason you started with it is because you love what you did.
Yeah.
And if you love what you do, then always love what you do. Don't sometimes love what you do for financial gain, and other times hate it.
You don't have to dumb anything down to make it appealing. You just have to be clever. You have to be clever about what you do. You don't have to. There's this thing. This stigma.
It's the Hollywood syndrome. It's the hi. This is a film from Sweden, and we're going to have to reduce all the language down so that fucking Bible Belt can figure out what we're saying. That's not what it's about. Because ultimately, let's face it, there are a shitload of people in the world, and if some people don't like our music, then that's completely fair enough.
Yeah.
It's not our prerogative to convince people that wouldn't want to listen to us anyway to listen to us.
Yeah.
We want to earn fans that would like to listen to the kind of music we make, and hold their interest.
What were we talking about? We've gone off on a massive tangent.
Massive but very interesting tangent, I think. We're just dissecting the entire world of modern music.
Back.
Ozzy's just rejoined us. We've been going for about 24 minutes now. It's a beautiful length of time. I feel like we've covered a lot in a very short period of time.
Excellent.
It's been a pleasure talking to you both, and I'm looking forward to the gig later as well.
Definitely.
So yeah, best of luck with it.
Thank you very much, and hello to everybody at the London Student.
Yeah, excellent. I think we should go and get a beer or something.
Damn right.
Brilliant.
Beer o'clock.
Yeah.
Thank you, the Manic Shine.
Cheers.